Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a review for you today. We're going to be talking about DC Comics, World's Finest, Teen Titans, issue number 1, written by Mark Waid, art by Emanuela Lupacchino, colors by Jordie Bellaire, and letters by Steve Wands. This is requested by Ranger Sly. I'm trying to knock it out. So let's get into it. I know the cover is a little hard to see because it's foil. I love how they do foil now that we're getting the back and the front. Don't know if we need the back, but alright, anyways, before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel. It does help. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I drop videos, that kind of thing. Alright, so let's get into it. So basically it starts off with like just a regular like Teen Titans adventure, I would say, and they're going up against the Brotherhood of Blood. I think that's who they are. One notable thing is it's set in modern times. You'll see right here somebody sending in a drone. It happens to be Speedy, but it plays a major part as the story goes on. And pretty much at this point, it's like a ritual sacrifice that's going on. The Titans show up to, stop the Brotherhood or whatever. So it catches you up with all the Teen Titans that this current group entails. So we got Kid Flash, and it even mentions like, why not Speedy kind of thing. We got Aqualad and Wonder Girl, and at this current time they're in a relationship, and kind of it actually says they're in a situationship. We got Karen, Bumblebee. And then we got, of course, Dick Grayson, and that's this team of Teen Titans. And like I mentioned, they're going up against the Brotherhood of Blood. Eventually, there's this rogue guy, and he turns out to be like this demon, and he's almost about to complete his ritual. The Titans end up stopping him. And that's kind of where it like fades out. We get the splash page and everything. After that, we go back to, I'm not sure where they are. I don't know if they mention it, if they're in Teen Titans Tower or under the mountain. I'm not sure. I'm not vastly knowledge. I haven't read everything Teen Titans. So basically at this point in the book, we find out that Speedy with that drone was recording. He was recording like the whole fight. At this point, Dick Grayson, Robin, he's kind of, I don't want to say throwing a fit, but he's making a big deal about them publicizing the Teen Titans events kind of thing. Speedy is very against this because he feels like they need to be getting spotlight and due notice and that kind of stuff. Plus, how they end up finding the hostages during that Brother of Blood situation was due to a hashtag that was set up by their social media mogul that we'll meet on the next page, kind of thing. But that's basically kind of what this main story is about. Is Speedy wants to kind of televise everything, and he wants to be on a social media platform. If anything, it kind of reminds me of what Booster Gold does. Every time he goes out, he's always recording, and then he's on like live streams and that kind of thing. And that's kind of what Speedy's kind of doing here. But he's kind of doing it where like he has this hashtag, and it's like, I forget what it is. It's like hashtag Unite Teen Titans, or Calling Teen Titans, I'm sorry. That's what it is, hashtag Calling Teen Titans. And he set up this hashtag so like random people that need help can get a hold of the Titans kind of thing. And Robin just kind of really sees it as like a bad thing, that they shouldn't be, so televised. It makes them like forefront for their villains kind of thing. The book jumps over, and it, after this little argument that the Titans were in, and most of the other Titans, they're trying to, skim the, outside of the whole debate kind of thing. They don't want to be in it. They do put their 2 cents in, but that's kind of as far as it goes. But then it cuts over to here, and we see a different situation where we have all the Teen Titans with their mentors. We got Kid Flash with Barry, and then we got, you know, Aqualad with Aquaman, so on and so forth. As these pages go, basically, all the other members minus one are kind of painting this picture, and as I read it, it was kind of like a false painting or whatever, because they're kind of telling their mentors, yeah, everything's badass, it's cool, everything's good, the Teen Titans. And this comes right after, like, they had this whole kind of argument thing. Now, it might be like in a nutshell that, you know, maybe they are all happy and they do love the Titans and stuff like that. But it's still early on in the Titans kind of story, so to say, because we have this conversation here with Dick and Bruce is not for the Titans. He doesn't like any of the other members. He doesn't trust them, mainly due to the fact that he doesn't know them. Even though they're sponsored by the heroes that they're sponsored, he still doesn't, you know, he doesn't believe that they were trained the same way that their heroes were, or that they took up the same mantle kind of thing. He's still at that crossroads kind of thing, and he's not doing it in a bad way. He's not just like, no, dude, you can't do this, you know. It's more along the lines of, you know, you just need to be real cautious. I don't advise this kind of thing. There needs to be more information that goes into this kind of thing. We know Batman, come on. But most times he's kind of right. Oh, and it does say, it says Titan's Lair, so again, I don't know if that's under the mountain or... But like I said, we're meeting our social media guru. Now, I'm not familiar with this character. His name is Charlie Parker. It says he used to be the Golden Eagle. I'm not aware of any of either character's name. He might be a brand new character at the same time, so if he is, let me down below. But we find out supposedly he's retired from that Golden Eagle persona, and he is doing this social media thing, trying to help the Titans in that fashion. Basically, he's like an Oracle stand-in kind of thing, an Oracle before Oracle, because that's what he is. He's basically, he tells the story about how, you know, before he came along to the Titans' lair, that the Titans, they just didn't have a social media presence, or it was just horrendous kind of thing. And since he's come along and set up the hashtag, and he's been their, you know, the guy in the sky kind of thing. We go back, and it's kind of more of this, you know, it's we're hearing more of what the other mentors are kind of going at, and in the background, it's still Batman kind of repeating that same thing, like, you know, he's advising against this, that he doesn't, you know, and it's not at this point, it kind of, you know, it gets to the point where Dick's like, you don't trust me, you don't, you know, and Batman kind of reiterates, it's not that kind of thing. Now, there is one weird thing, because as you see Roy talking to his mentor, they do show Green Arrow, or what looks to be the silhouette of Green Arrow, but as the comic goes, we find out that Green Arrow's not there, and supposedly he's just too busy and couldn't spend the time to talk to Speedy kind of thing. So Speedy, you know, the pages before made it seem like, you know, Speedy was talking to, you know, Green Arrow and everything, and sure enough, he's not. He's just kind of, you know, rambling to himself kind of thing. And basically, his conversation with, like, Green Arrow was like, man, you give me great advice, Green Arrow, man. I mean, you're the best, man. I'm so glad you motivate me. And so we jump forward and we go to this other mission. There's no, like, rhyme or reason. It kind of cuts here. And I do like this, that the cover I happen to pick up, yes, I love the foil and everything, but it does, you know, if you notice, it's in the water and everything. So it's specifically from the scene, which I like when covers kind of go with the comic. But they're on this mission to stop the separated man. They basically got a hashtag that, you know, they got some small information, but this is the guy right here, and I'm not familiar with him either. He kind of reminds me of a character from a whole another franchise. But in DC Comics, I'm not familiar with him. But it looks like he can, like, separate himself, and that's exactly what he's doing. They brought him out to the water to, you know, minimize, like, the damage to the city and civilian, you know, injuries, that kind of thing. And basically, they just go out there and they fight. As the fight goes along, you know, and there's struggle both ways, like, where it seems like he's kind of overpowering him. But as we get to a certain point, we do find out that they're basically just trying to get this antidote to him that will bring him back to regular size. As this is going on, there's a couple different panels where, like, you know, like as they're jumping into action, Roy is like, smile for the camera, and then like it kind of throws him off. Robin's like, what, and then he kind of jumps into action, kind of thing. But they're kind of highlighting that Roy is still doing the filming and stuff. And currently, at that time, he was using a phone. As the fight goes on, we see that he's got drones deployed as well. I couldn't spot any of the drones. It's brought up in conversation between Dick and, but I mean, they're not in the panels or any that you can see or anything like that. But eventually, with his like never miss kind of thing, he is given the antidote and fires it into the separated man's throat, which causes him to return back to normal. They save the day. When they make it to the beach, you know, we see Speedy putting up the drone, so the drone was there. But basically, he kind of like, you know, he does this whole like, hey, now it's time to get our glory thing, time to smile for the real cameras kind of thing. And he's talking about all the fans that are on the beach that saw everything. And Dick is still going back to this whole like, nah, man, we shouldn't be doing this. And, you know, he keeps reiterating, you know, that for all the people that do love us, there's going to be these people in the background that hate us, and us being able to be found so easily on social media is not going to help, you know. But eventually it gets to this point where they basically have a standoff, you know, Dick Grayson and Roy, and it's basically said by Dick that, you know, no more filming until he says otherwise, that since he's the team leader, he's making, you know, putting his foot down kind of thing. Roy does this thing where, like, at this time, all the other team members know their real aliases, you know. We know Karen, we know, you know, Garth, we know that everybody else's true identities have been revealed, including Roy's, except for Dick Grayson. And at this point, it's brought up, like, how can we trust you? You're just a narc for the Batman kind of thing. And Dick kind of like, at this point, he's like, you know what? And he's like, I'm done. And he's like, you know, and he does, you know, they do show you that the reason he's not revealing his identity is because of that conversation with Batman, you know, and that it doesn't literally say like, hey, can I reveal my identity? You just get it through context. He's like, you know, hey, can I reveal my identity? And Batman's like, absolutely not, you know, I don't trust these people kind of thing. And look, not that far after they get going, you know, Dick's already having problems, and yes, it's a small issue, but still, it's still a big enough issue where Dick Grayson eventually washes his hands with the team, and he's like, you know what, I'm done, mission's over. Kid Flash tries to, you know, talk some sense into, you know, Dick, like, hey man, we're all friends, it's just, you know, come on man, we can talk about this. And Dick is like, nope, I'm gone, you don't know how to get in contact with me, and then he just waves goodbye, and, you know, that's about it. But that's not it of the book. We got a couple more pages left. So the book jumps over, and it says the warehouse district outside Metropolis, and we are set up with this scene right here with this guy and this guy, and this guy's basically like, hey, what's up, man? You know, I'm setting up this new super team that's going to be better than Teen Titans, and I need to know your name and your power. And this guy's like, hey, my name's like Hilo, and basically I can, like, I can affect probability. Basically, it's kind of like domino. He can't, you know, win the lottery or anything like that, but he's just extra lucky or something like that. And as soon as he says that, we see a flash of lightning come down and just fry this guy, and you can see he is kind of like disintegrating away. And this guy is like, I guess you're not that lucky kind of thing. And that's where the book leaves off. My final thoughts is it reads like, you know, every other teen, every other teen book, I want to say, not a Titans book, but it does read like a Titan book. I did love the read, I love the art, everything. I have like very small complaints, like the social media thing with the Charlie Parker thing. I get the idea, like I said, it's kind of like the Oracle, the eye in the sky kind of thing, but the way they kind of set it up is like, like, oh, they just put out this hashtag. Now, we're on YouTube, right? We deal with the algorithm kind of thing, man. It didn't work like that at all. You had some, you know, Teen Titan hashtag for innocent men. That guy would never find that stuff. There'd be so many, like, famous, you know, just regular people typing in that hashtag all the time just trying to get the Teen Titans' attention. You talk about the worst idea in history. No, but I love the read. It read really quick, and it is a very wordy book, I will say. But the art was excellent. The lettering, all of it. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I picked it up based on, you know, Ranger Sly's request. But hey, I'm already going long. That's my review. These are my thoughts. That's my one small complaint about the book, was just the idea of the social media thing. But other than that, I really love the book. And getting to the end with the little cliffhanger, I was waiting for that for the whole book. And I was like, all right, what's the stinger? You know, what's coming? You know, and actually, I like that. I thought that was great the way the guy did that. He was like, oh yeah, and that's so lucky, buddy. But I like the whole, like, you know, I'm going to create this super team. And at the time, we still don't know if it's like an evil super team, because the way he said it, it made it sound like it was a good thing. But maybe just through bad intention. I don't know. Sounds like an evil super team. But that's my review. Those are my thoughts. Let me know down below if you like this comic, what you thought about it. I'll let y'all go.